folks, well, it's T-minus 43 days and counting. And I'm going to do a short one tonight. I promise this will be short. So let's get right to it. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I prepare to fly the drone. This is the DJI Mini 2. I've got these batteries here, all three of them. I can push this little button right up here and it will show me the level of charge on each battery. And as you can see, the battery right here is at about 50%. The others are 100%. So let me put this back on the charger. First of all, I'm going to prepare the controller. This is the controller. Okay. On the bottom side of the controller, there's a little storage place for the thumbsticks or joysticks or whatever you want to call them. Joysticks, that comes from my military days, folks, so forgive me if that's like, I don't know, indecent or something. Okay, and to start off with here, I want to let you know that there is a 3-position mode switch. And the far left position is the least amount of sensitivity. It's the cine mode, so it's for getting really dramatic drone shots, because what it does is it dampens the effect of the joysticks so that movement here results in very minimal movement of the drone. And the middle position is the normal position for normal sensitivity. And then there's a sport position. So when you make a little movement here, it's a lot of movement in the drone. Okay? So I'm going to start off with the cine mode because I'm going to fly it in here, folks, and I don't want any knee-jerk reactions taking place. There's some other features on here. There's a return to home button here. There's also a pause button. Return home button is kind of cool because it will send your drone back to you when you press it in case you lose track of it somehow or another. We'll get into that in another video. There's over here a power switch. Okay, that's about all I'm going to talk about right now on here. There is a battery level indicator here. If you tap this, you can see we are 100% charged. Okay. Oh, there are other switches here too. This switch right here is the record switch or the snapshot switch. It'll take a picture or it'll start recording a video. Then over here you have a tilt wheel. This wheel will tilt the camera up or down depending on which direction you move this. Okay, so very brief introduction. We pull this top slider out right here. This is a spring-loaded device to hold your phone. Back on the underside here, we have these connectors. This is what connects the controller to your iPhone or your Samsung phone, whichever phone you happen to be using. So we take the phone like this. Now some people do it another way. I like to put it in this way, but you push this little thing up like that. The phone goes into this nice little holder here and you're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and start my phone up, and don't look at my code, okay? This is actually Susie's phone. Now, so right here is the DJI Fly app. We're going to launch that app. You have to download that app when you get the drone, and you'll have to register that. It's typical for a lot of different things, right? So just follow the directions when you buy the drone. We'll get into that in detail later too if you want. We're going to power up the controller. To power it up, you press the button once, and then you press it a second time and hold it until you get that little beep sequence, and it's ready to go. Now the drone. The drone comes packed in this nice little protective case. There's a case for the gimbal. There is a case that will protect the props. And so we're going to pop this open here. Take that off. We'll throw that aside. And now the props are free to move around. So at this point, we unfold the side propeller arms, and then these bottom ones come down like this. Okay? The bird is ready to fly, except one thing, it needs a battery. There are electrical contacts on the top of the door. There are electrical contacts on the top of this battery. Goes in like that. Snap this in place, make sure it positively snaps in place. Now, the gimbal cover has to be removed. Get right under here. We lift. Oh, there you go. Just that easy. Gimbal cover is off. To power up the drone, we tap once. You can see the battery level, 100%. So you tap once, tap twice, and hold. You'll hear the props kind of do their little thing. the gimbal will start to calibrate. Okay, it's ready to go, folks. All right, so let me put this right here. Now, I am actually going to fly this. So in cold weather, now it's warm in my garage. I mean, it's relatively warm in my garage. I did have the heat on for a little bit. There are two ways to take off. There's a manual way to take off, and there's an automatic way. Now, I'm going to do it manually because I don't want this thing to fly up into my my woodwork up here, because it will take off to about 1.2 meters, and I don't have 1.2 meters here. And if you launch automatically, it would try to go right through there. There is no obstacle avoidance on this drone, except for right at the bottom. There are some bottom-looking sensors that detect the ground and help to stabilize this in a hover mode. Okay. Once you power it up, the GPS system will start trying to track satellites, and it'll eventually update the home position, and this position would be considered home. We're not going to worry about that right now because we're really not going to fly it off anywhere. I'm just going to take off, hover a little bit, maybe articulate this thing a little bit, and then land it. Okay, so now I think we're turned on. Yes, we're turned on. Let's see. Oh, okay, I forgot to hook so you got to hook this cable up. There's this cable that comes out of the back. You need to hook it up to your phone. I was wondering why I didn't see a connection. So let's do that. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Now I've got some features turned on here, like this kind of zebra striping you see. That's a part of the camera control to let me know that things are either overexposed or underexposed.
Has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Did you hear that? So she's telling me the home point has been updated, the GPS connection has been made. This is now the home point. Okay, so what we're going to do now is start the engines. Just going to warm it up. Normally that's a really good thing to do when it's cold, all right? So to do that, we just take both of these sticks, take them down and in.
Take off.
So in cold weather, I'll let it sit here like this and let the engines warm up, let the battery warm up. I'll do this for about a minute. Now, with this in the cine mode, again, these controls are desensitized. So hopefully this will not make a liar out of me and make me look like a fool. All right, let's find out. So this stick controls up and down, or altitude of the aircraft. Left to right controls the yaw. Okay, the direction that the camera is looking from left to right. This stick over here controls forward motion and aft motion and lateral left, lateral right. So here we go. Let's take off. So there it is, folks. I mean, this thing practically flies itself. I can go forward. I can move to the right, left. I don't know, that may have been opposite according to your frame of reference there. I can go backwards. Well, let's see, while I'm there, let me go up, down. All right. I'm going to go backwards. All right, we're going to go right about there. I'm going to move it over a little bit toward me. And now to land, I'm just going to pull this stick right here down and hold it. The device will land, the motors will power down, and we're done with that particular flight. That's it. I wanted to make this short. This is going to be short, folks. Thank you so much, all of you people who are leaving the comments. It's great to hear from you all. Thank you for the new subscribers. Man, we shot up over 300, or at least 300, I think, something like that. Whoop-de-doo, right? Every one of you count. Every one of you matter. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. We're going to wrap this up. You all be kind. Love one another. Spread that love around the world. Let's make the world a fun place, a peaceful place. Right? See ya. I'm going to go backwards. We'll see what happens, folks. So, folks, you shouldn't do this in the house. Okay, let's see how the autofocus works. If I bring this up and do this, is it in focus? That's what I want to know right there. Is that in focus?